Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I'm just working on getting things set up here in Arch Linux. There we go. How's everybody doing today? We are going to be jumping right in shortly. All right. Here we are in Arch Linux. So if you guys tuned in the past couple of streams, I initially on Sunday installed Bazite, which is kind of like the Steam OS alternative, and started gaming a little bit on that. And then we tested out. I mean, it didn't go super smoothly. There was some errors and kind of navigating, and we did a little bit of gaming, but it wasn't until Monday, that we tested some games. I did a little bit of Elden Ring. I did a little bit of Assassin's Creed Shadows. And so this time, though, I was like having some issues with Bazite on Monday, and I couldn't get proper permissions when I was like doing things in terminals. I reinstalled Bazite a few times, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try out Arch, and I've been using Arch for the past 3 days now, and it has been really nice. Hopefully, I was trying to directly stream. Oh, nice. Hello, Miston. So I'm gonna play a little bit of Elden Ring and a little bit of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Those are the two games that I have downloaded on Arch right now. Um, so one of the things had an issue with Bazite was that I couldn't, when I was trying to mirror the displays, it was giving me a lot of problems in terms of latency, in terms of frame rate. And so then I just started directly streaming from OBS on the Linux rather. Yeah, I'm on Hyperland right now. So, uh, so you can see that there. Um, but unfortunately, what ended up happening was, for some reason, when I installed Arch, I first did GNOME, and then I put Hyperland in, and for some reason, it just could not get my YouTube account linked to OBS. So now we're gonna see. It was running really smoothly, gaming-wise, on Arch the past few days, but we'll see how it looks, now that we're mirroring, because it didn't do super good with Bazite, but I'm interested to see if Arch is better with that. I also spent a lot of time figuring out how to properly install NVIDIA drivers on Linux, and I finally got it on like Tuesday. So yeah, let's just jump right in. Um, I wonder actually if here we go. I want to scale this up a bit. Yeah. Oh, maybe we're running into our first issue. Uh, yeah, I've been a little sick. That's why I probably look a little tired. Um, but yeah, it looks like it actually, when I was trying to adjust the scaling. Oh, well, last time I slept well, who knows? Let's see. All right. So we might actually need to. So it's changing. It's so interesting. It's like changing on the mirror capture, but it's like my actual display that I'm using isn't. For some reason, it froze on my main display. So let's. Interesting. Let's see if we can. We'll give it a quick reboot. Gotta love Linux sometimes. It's been actually a lot of fun. The performance has been really good. I think it's just a weird thing with like when it comes to mirroring displays that it's like not happy, or like Linux needs to do a better job on that, or it could be like an NVIDIA thing because NVIDIA. So I am sick right now. That's what my breathing problem is right now. Ah, there we go. Thanks, man. Oh, nice. Nice to meet you, Mister. And thanks, Khalid. Yeah, pretty much. It's so funny because it was working totally fine up until I had to add a second display. And then it just broke. Let's see. I don't know why. Here, let's see if we can do something. It was as soon as I changed the scaling, I shouldn't have touched it. I'm using just OBS. And I'm using Elgato's capture card. Okay, so now Arch is perfectly fine when there's one display. Okay, great. Now let's try this. Please. Okay. All right, let's see how this goes now. I think we're good. You guys should hopefully be seeing everything. Right. So, the first thing I'm actually going to do is I am going to root into and then I'm going to change my I'm going to run a quick Python script. And if you're curious, we can just, what I did here, you can also find this on the NVIDIA's forum. That's where I looked because I had to do a lot of Googling, not only for NVIDIA drivers, but I also wanted to see how I could overclock and then put a power limit on it. So here's just a very, very basic script using the pynvml library. It first just identifies, especially because I'm running on a 9800X3D, which has integrated graphics. So I want to specifically specify the 5080. So that's just calling the index 0 as my GPU. And then we're overclocking by 200 megahertz. And then the memory is 1000. And then normally the 5080 power limit is 360. It can get capped up to 400. But I want to like effectively undervolt. It's not the same as like when you're doing an MIS afterburner where you have like the voltage curves that I used to do on Windows. And so I brought it down from 360 to 320. And so all we're going to do now is just escape out of this. And then I'm just going to run the script. And so now it will just set those offsets that I did. And we are good to go. Let's go into Steam. Let me also turn on. I also got my PS5 controller to connect nicely as well on Arch. I would say it's a couple extra steps compared to Bazai. Bazai is just like it works completely right out of the box. But it's actually not that hard. And what I would recommend is to use the Arch Wiki. The Arch Wiki is so clutch. So we're going to just hop in to and just like play a little bit of Elden Ring and see how it goes. Hopefully the mirroring doesn't cause too many problems. I will say, when I was just playing it, not even like a few hours ago, I was getting very good, stable 60 frames per second. So hopefully we can reproduce that. One second. I don't think there's audio, so let me just add audio to the... I have it sent to my headphones, so I'm just gonna switch this. Hopefully this will give us audio. So as you can see here, what's actually really cool is, I mean, there's like very little to no CPU usage. Like it's at 20%. When I'm on Windows, probably just because of all the background stuff going on, it gets up to like 40, 50%. And I'm talking about like non-CPU intensive games. But even the 5080, like Elden Ring's not very demanding, so I wouldn't expect it to be close to 100% right now. But only getting like 40, under 50% utilization is like fantastic. Oh, yes, I use Arch. Let me just... I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, when I was first installing, yeah, even here, like we're not getting like a super stable 60. And I'm guessing this probably has to do with like the mirroring. Honestly, without the mirroring or the second display, the gaming on Arch has been truly awesome. I've been testing a few games and it's just been like buttery smooth. And honestly, just using Arch in general has been really nice. Except for this like two display thing. People warned me of this when I first installed Bazzite, that multiple displays with Linux can be a real pain in the butt. And I agree. Hopefully next time I stream, I can reset the OBS that I have on Linux. Because on Monday I was streaming from Bazzite and I was just streaming directly. I was just using the NVIDIA encoder to stream directly on OBS and it was totally fine. But here I think it's using up a little bit more resources. And like not getting sound output either. But honestly, I definitely recommend if you're at all interesting. I also do a little bit of like bash scripting in Shell just to like make my life easier. And I use macOS, and so it's really nice to like have all the syntax just completely transfer over between the two, whereas like command prompt on Windows is completely different. And so that was like another like impetus for me going to Linux. And honestly, it's been nice. And dude, Hyprland, I've been trying out Hyprland. I was using GNOME for the most part, pretty much. I've always used GNOME or KDE in the past. And I just switched to Hyprland this morning. And oh my god, I love the window tiling. It's just amazing. Portal 2 is such a good game. My wife and I played it together and it was a blast. Let's in true Elden Ring fashion, let me try a boss that has been killing me a lot. Oh, Postal 2. I've never heard of Postal 2. I'll have to check it out. Have you played Portal 2? Because that game is phenomenal. Good night, man. Have a good one. Thanks for the subscribe, man. I appreciate it. Alright, so this boss here has caused me so many problems. I hate him with a passion. I had to go do other things. I am probably not going to make it. No. God damn it. He does so much freaking damage. Like, y'all seeing this shit? And I'm dead. I barely can, like, do anything with him. And he has such a good, like, reach. If I die one more time, we'll switch to, AC Shadows and see how that does. Like, bro. Alright. Let's see if we can use this opportunity. Yes, I feel like it has to be that one. What if we did that? We're halfway there with the processing. How's everybody doing today? Oh no. What did I do? It's not coming back. So the name of this game is Arch is great until you need to use multiple monitors. But I wonder if it's probably better if you're using an AMD GPU. That wouldn't surprise me. Alright. Yeah, hopefully next time I'm just gonna like reconfig hopefully OBS on Linux, and so I can just stream directly from the same computer. And we can also get some audio and not have to worry about double monitor shit. What games have you guys been playing? We're almost there. 94%. I think maybe when I needed to play, when I switched over to Hyperlink or something, I need to reprocess the Vulkan shaders. Bro. I will be back in 30 seconds to... Ubisoft's games take so long. What the heck? I like that they have her outfit from the last time I played. So the settings I'm going to use, because I want to match the settings to what I've used on Bazzai as well as Windows. Oh, so I got to go into system. I am going to increase the field of view to 104. No frame rate limiter. NVIDIA DLSS. We'll do quality. I think I might have had it unbalanced. Let's do quality. And then let's just save that real quick. And I am just going to hop into Steam. I think that's 5, yeah. So the reason I'm doing this is just because so you guys can see what the actual performance is like. Alright, let's just double check that was added properly. Good, okay. This should boot up much faster now. Or not. There we go. We're just gonna play this briefly, and then I just want to see what performance is like compared to Windows versus Bazzai now that I'm playing on Arch. But it's probably not going to be exactly 1-to-1 because I have to do the dual display. So that's why I want to just figure out why my OBS shit the bed randomly. Okay. Let's head back into system. I didn't save my... Let's turn off motion blur. And I have used frame generation in the past. Okay, so this is actually pretty cool. Is like, even with doing this dual display thing, I'm only losing about maybe 10 to 15 FPS. It's hovering right now around 100 to 110. And when I was playing it last time, I was getting about... Bazlight was giving me about like 120. Windows is like 110. But I have no doubts that if I reboot this without the dual display, it'll be better. Alright, let's just fight these guys real quick. Oh, okay. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed. Oh, shit. Temperatures are doing good too. 56? Oh, boy. Well, that was fun. I mean, I will say, yeah, this is actually running amazingly. Especially, I mean, look at the VRAM usage, and the 9800X3D is like barely, it's 30%. So much better. I'm guessing it has to be like Windows's just bloatware or their background processes that cause like CPU usage, even in GPU intensive games, to be so much higher. Oh my lord. I keep looking up at the benchmarks and I just keep dying. And the VRAM isn't even running higher. 1500, 15,000 is the base. The 5080 is, the clock speed is actually higher. It is definitely running at a higher clock speed. But the memory is, I guess, just staying where it is. What is happening? Talk about glitch. Yeah, so I'll probably just call it here, cause I don't want like you guys to have to watch without sound, and hopefully this was a little helpful, but I also want to do it where like without the fidgety dual display stuff, because I think it's definitely costing performance here. Let me just get this. All right. So that's just it for today. Just keeping it nice, short, and simple. I should hopefully get those OBS settings in Arch working again. It works great for just like recording. I was just recording some Elden Ring footage not too long ago, but for some reason it just wasn't recognizing my YouTube account for streaming. And so I'll just get that set up so I don't have to do this dual display, because if it's already running at 100 frames per second, I imagine we'll get pretty good, solid performance compared to Windows. Windows was like 110. Basslight was running around 110, 120, which is all just so incredible. Just that it's running off of Proton, and it's doing this, and like the CPU utilization just super low. Temps are great, and this is like a very brand new game. And we're playing at 1440p. So yeah, overall, I've been super impressed with Arch. And honestly, in my opinion, especially like I installed Arch for the first time 2017, and back then you had to just do everything manually, and you still can do everything manually. But now it's just like Arch install. When I was installing it again this time, I just like did Arch install, and you just configure a few things in terminal, and then it sets it up for you, and you're good to go. And Hyprland, you can like use other people's dot files. I use someone else's to save me some time, because I just want to try it out. But then you can also configure it yourself. So I'll probably end up doing that at some point when I have the time to kind of tinker around with it. But I mean, Hyprland is so great, and it runs the best on like Arch. I think it's like NixOS is the other one too. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This is a little bit shorter one. Once I get the OBS situation on Arch fixed, I should hopefully be back to stream again. We can even play some other games too. I'm thinking about trying out Red Dead Redemption 2 in Arch Linux, because I played it a lot recently on Steam Deck at the beginning of the year, and it ran like really great on the Steam Deck. I was getting like 40-50 FPS, so I'm very curious to see how it runs on Linux with like a really powerful CPU and GPU. And that's it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate everybody who tuned in today. It was great. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe if you're interested to see more content. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more gaming on Linux and just tinkering in Linux. It's been so far so fun. All right. Peace.